It's never used. I have it in this report somewhere.
Where that camera is looking Please, where your camera is, we are going to have a challenge. That camera. If you have to pick something from the screen, how will you pick it? Okay. Or it would be better to bring it a bit forward, so that if we project something there, you can. Okay, so that's okay. Please, are you already? Thank you very much. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the media. Well, thank you very much for honoring our invitation at such short notice. We deeply appreciate the partnership we continue to enjoy from you. You were here only yesterday to cover one event, and you are here again this morning. So on behalf of the Good Board, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Today, we have called you to share information about what may pass as the most elaborate gold smuggling syndicate we have uncovered since the establishment of the Ghana Gold Board. And we are doing this because, as we all know, the Gold Board was set up not only to trade gold, not only to buy gold, export gold, generate foreign exchange for the country, but one of the most important mandates we have been given is to wage a fight against the illegal gold trading and gold smuggling menace. And this we have been doing from day one when the Ghana Gold Board Act was signed by His Excellency the President into law on the 2nd of April 2025. And we do this work in a spirit of transparency and accountability so that we can carry the public along through your various esteemed platforms and get them to collaborate with us, support us in this endeavor, because the Gold Board cannot do this work alone. And it is in that light that every now and then we invite you to brief you about successes or challenges of the fight, arrest, seizures that have been made, and so on. And we also do that in the spirit of accountability, because if you do not know what we are doing, the arrests we are making, the seizures we are making, then you are incapacitated from holding us accountable about how we handle these cases in the national interest. And so this is why we are here today. And as I already indicated, this case we are briefing you on is a very, very, very serious case. We've been working on it for a number of weeks now. We've kept it under wraps because of the sensitive nature, because as I said, it involves a very elaborate, complicated gold smuggling syndicate that we've been tracking for a long time. And by the grace of God and thanks to a patriotic Ghanaian, we have been able to make some significant progress in getting the perpetrators to book. So on the 26th of August 2025, we got intel through one of our hotlines from a patriotic citizen of the land to the effect that some foreigners were in cahoots with certain licensed traders of the Gold Board. And what they were doing basically is that they give funds to these licensed traders of the Gold Board. These are not unlicensed traders, these are licensed traders of the Gold Board who are giving money by these foreigners for the purpose of buying gold for and on their behalf, which gold they pick up from Takwa through various Ghanaian couriers. And these are couriers that they themselves have recruited to pick up the gold, which is bought for and on their behalf by their licensed gold board traders in the area. And so upon getting the tip off, we deployed our task force to the area. We mounted a road search around the Winneba Junction. We had the number plate details of the vehicle that was dispatched on this very occasion to go and take delivery of the gold from Takwa. What they do is that they take delivery of the gold at Takwa from our licensed trader, bring it to Accra, aggregate it, and then they smuggle the gold across the border. They smuggle it across the Togo border, across the Lugu border, for their illegal gold trade business which they have established outside the borders of our country. So on the 27th of August, the following day, our gold board task force was successful in arresting the said vehicle, which was carrying one of the couriers. I'm saying one of the couriers because the couriers were, from our intelligence, 3 and not 1. And we're lucky to get one of them by name Abdul Razak. And Abdul Razak is here. Yes, come close so that they can see. So this is Abdul Razak, a young Ghanaian guy who was arrested on that fateful day, the morning of 27th of August 2025. And when he was arrested, we found in his possession 3 packs of a substance which we suspected to be gold. And so the substances were seized and sent to the gold board assay laboratory for the necessary test. Upon assay, it was discovered that the substances were indeed gold, and they had an average purity of 92.5% and a gross weight of 9.2 kg and a net weight of 8.5 kg. And so, per the price of gold at the time, the gold was valued at almost 10.2 million Ghana cedis. In today's terms, it will be far higher because, as you may be aware, the price of gold has gone up significantly in recent time. But as at the time the seizure was made, the gold was worth more than 10.2 million Ghana cedis. In old Ghana cedi terms, that is more than 100 billion. Yeah, so we are talking about significant funds. Upon interrogation, it was discovered that this young man, Abdul Razak, was recruited by his cousin by name Abdul Karim to do this work for a fee of 500 Ghana cedis per trip, and that they've been doing this work for this Abdul Karim actively in the last 2-3 months, and have, according to him, he may be lying, he may be saying the truth, they've been to Takwa, to this same location, this same licensed gold trader of the gold board for gold on about 4 occasions. As a result of these findings, the gold board again embarked on an operation to arrest the said licensed gold trader who operates under the name NK Benak Enterprise. It's a sole proprietorship. The sole proprietor is called Bernard and Kroma. The name of the business is NK Benak Enterprise, and Mr. Bernard and Kroma is the gentleman who is standing next to the deputy CEO. So he was arrested together with some of his workers. Upon interrogation, we realized that some of the workers were not directly involved in this whole smuggling, so they were granted bail. But he, together with Abdul Razak, were kept in custody for 24 hours for Bernard and 48 hours for Abdul Razak. Another arrest was also made as a result of findings from their interrogation, which was the arrest of a gentleman called Arimi Yao. And Arimi Yao is also here. And they were, all the three of them were arraigned before court for the first time on the 5th of September 2025. Now, what we have uncovered so far indicates, I say so far because investigations are still ongoing, indicates that since June 2025, a company by name Rafmoh Gold Limited, Rafmoh is spelled R-A-F-M-O-H, Rafmoh Gold Limited. If you check from the Registrar General's Department, you realize that there are many companies that bears the name Rafmoh. So they have Rafmoh Jewelry, but in this case we are talking about Rafmoh Gold Limited. The shareholder is the same, a gentleman by name Rafik Muhammad Nandoli. And from the findings of our investigation so far, and what suspects in custody have told us, it has appeared that the shareholder of the company by name Rafik Muhammad Nandoli, Rafmoh for short, who is also called Salam, is the mastermind and sponsor of this whole gold smuggling syndicate we've been tracking for a couple of months now. The company was engaged in gold trading under the defunct PMMC regime. But upon the passage of the Gold Board Act, when foreigners were banned from directly purchasing gold from the local markets, they changed their style, their methods, and the way they operate, and decided to hide behind licensed gold traders to buy gold. And we believe that the gold they buy is smuggled out of the country per the intelligence we have so far. And we discovered that in a period of 2 months, per what suspects in custody have told us, they bought nothing less than 100 kilograms of gold. 100 kilograms of gold will be worth more than 120 million Ghana cedis within this period. This Rafmoh Gold Limited is not licensed. None of their entities are licensed by the Gold Board to be able to buy gold. And even though the one who supplied the gold is licensed, his terms and conditions that governs his operations as a licensed tier 2 buyer don't also allow him to sell gold to foreigners or to an unlicensed entity. That license only allows him to buy gold and supply that gold to a licensed aggregator of the Gold Board. And there are some key people who are worthy of mention in this case. One is an Indian by name Afsar Putalan. And this Afsar Putalan, we understand, is a key officer of Rafmoh Gold. Per the intelligence we have received so far, and from investigations, it does appear that he is the manager of Rafmoh Gold's gold trade interest in the Takwa enclave. And so he was the one who was directly dealing with our licensed trader Bernard Nkrumah, who runs the business NK Bernard Enterprise. And this Afsar was actively working with Abdul Karim, who operates more or less as an accountant and a transporter. He is the one who recruits these young guys as couriers and sends them to Benak. And we believe other gold traders, not just Benak. But like I said, we're still investigating, and so we would not like to put those details out. So they go and carry this, and they go with public transport, Toyota Haze and all that. They carry it, put it in their bags, they come to Accra, and then this Abdul Karim goes to them at Newtown in Accra here, or sends them to come to where he stays around that Shaman, Lashibi area, and then he collects the gold foil on behalf of Rafmoh, and through other couriers they are able to take the gold out. So Afsar Putalan is one of the suspects that we are investigating in this case, and so is Abdul Karim. And there is a third one who is the brother of Abdul Karim called Sadiq Abubakar. So far investigations show that he is senior, not only by age, not only in age to Abdul Karim, but also in terms of the role he plays in the Rafmore gold smuggling syndicate, and that he's the one who handles all the transport interest of Rafmore and works with people like Arim Yao to take the gold out. Like I said, Rafmore itself has a shareholder called Rafiq Mohammed Nandoli, who goes by the name Salam. And so his real name is not what he is called. If you follow the real name, you will never know that he's the one who is the mastermind of everything. As I speak to you, we have these 3 suspects in custody. They were first arraigned, as I've already indicated, before the High Court on the 5th of September and remanded into NIB custody for 1 week. They reappeared on the yes. Okay, so the first one was 29th of August when they were remanded for 1 week, and then they reappeared on the 5th of September and were remanded for another 1 week. But on the 12th of September, they were all admitted to bail on the following conditions: a bail sum of 50 million Ghana cedis, 2 sureties, one of which must be justified the landed property, mandatory reporting to the Good Board investigative team every other day for the next 3 weeks. So this is the decision of the High Court. They are still in custody because I suspect they've not met the conditions yet, but that is what the High Court has ruled, and until that changes, nobody can vary that. But 4 key suspects in this case are at large, and they are the main reason why we call this press conference. Number 1 is the transporter and accounts officer of Rafmore called Abdul Karim. The second is Afsar Putalan, the Indian who runs a lot of the good businesses of Rafmore and was responsible for the Atakwa business and dealt directly with Abdul Razak and Benak. And then there is Sadiq Abu Akar, and then there is the Chief Supremo himself, Rafiq Mohammed Nandoli K. Salam. Other directors and shareholders of the company are also wanted, and so we are still pursuing them, and it is our hope that you, our friends in the media and members of the general public who have information about these 4 individuals I have mentioned, will share that information about their whereabouts to assist us to apprehend them, to aid in investigations. At this stage, I would want the media team to project the images of these 4 individuals on the screen. And by the way, we have arrest warrants for each of them. We've all been declared wanted by the police. I think that the one that has all the 4 of them is present. Yes. We have an arrest warrant for all of them. The wanted list 4 has been duly completed, and so the police is aware. They are wanted by the police and the Ghana Good Board. And so if you have information, any information about their whereabouts, you can report same to the nearest police station or to the Good Board head office, or you can call any of these 2 lines you see on the screen: 0800 444 653 or 0800 444 654. And we have a bounty of 1 million Ghana cedis on each of them, not on all the 4, on each of them. So can we see the single files now? And if you can zoom it out a bit for it to be more legible, I'll be grateful. Yes. So this is Abdul Karim. I've spoken extensively about him. That is his picture, very clear. And we are calling on the general public to, in the spirit of patriotism, share any information they may have about this individual with the Good Board or with the Ghana Police Service. He is wanted for gold smuggling, illegal gold trading, among other gold-related offences. And there is a bounty of 1 million Ghana cedis on him. That which simply means that anyone who gives us information that leads to his arrest will be given 1 million Ghana cedis by the gold board. Can we see the next one? Yeah, this one we don't have his picture, but he's a brother of the said Abdul Karim. Is also called Sadiq Abubakar. His age is there, his nationality is there. So anyone who has information about whereabouts can also share with us via the numbers we have indicated on the screen or with the nearest police station. The next one, please. This is the Muhammad Afsal Putalan. Yes. And all his details about his age, his nationality, everything is there. We are of course to believe that these individuals might have fled the country. They might have been in, they may be in Cote d'Ivoire or Dubai or Togo, and so on. We are tracking them. And so if you have information on them or any of their close associates that can help us to get to them, kindly share with us. We are working with Interpol as well on this matter because, as I said, it's a very serious matter. The next person, yes, and this is the shareholder and director, one of the shareholders and directors of Rafmore Gold Limited, by name Muhammad Nanduli Rafiq alias Salah. He's in his 40s. We understand that he's an Indian, and he speaks English, speaks Indian and other languages. And so if you have information about his whereabouts, kindly share that. Now, to wrap up, if you can now turn your cameras here. Even as we pursue these key suspects to bring them to justice, a number of actions have already been taken by the Gold Board. First of all, we have closed down the business of NK Benak Enterprise. All his trading offices have been closed down. Once we are done with this, a special compliance notice in the form of a press statement will be issued. And we want to make the point that the general public, all licensed gold buyers, all licensed miners are to take note that the entity called NK Benak Enterprise and its sole proprietor Bernard Nkono have been closed down by the Gold Board. They no longer have any lawful authorization to trade in gold, as their license has been suspended forthwith. And so if you have any business whatsoever to do with them relative to gold trading, you must cease from that forthwith. Rafmore Gold, from our investigations, have already closed down their gold trading offices on the Osu Oxford Street. However, other businesses of theirs, like Rafmore Jewelry, located at Palace Mall, were still being operated. And from the findings of our investigations, we have cause to believe that this business is yet another conduit for their gold smuggling activities. And so the Gold Board has closed down Rafmore Gold Jewelry, and we are aggressively, as I've already said, pursuing the shareholders and directors. All these persons I've mentioned, the 3 suspects already in custody and the 4 persons at large, have all been charged for dealing in gold without authorization, for facilitating gold smuggling, for smuggling gold, for transporting gold without authorization, and for attempting to smuggle gold, among other charges. And this is a case that the Deputy Attorney General of the Republic is directly involved in its prosecution. Attorney General and the DPP are all working with us closely to make sure that we present a watertight case in the interest of the Republic and in the interest of justice. Now, I'll conclude with a very important